Yep, welcome back to a brand new stream, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you guys are having a good evening, good day, good morning, wherever you're at in this world. Hope everything is going perfectly fine. Hope you guys had a great day, whatever you had planned. So, hope everything goes perfectly fine, man. Yeah, guys, imagine that you got an opportunity to go on an interview. And the reason you're going to that interview is to promote your business. And then when you get to that interview, instead of the questions that you're being asked, it's all about your book. Instead of the questions that you're being asked, it's about your business. Instead of you being asked questions in relate to your business, that's the reason why you went to the interview, to promote your business. Instead of you being asked those type of questions about your business, completely got blindsided and started getting questions about something completely unrelated to your business, which is your family. You completely get blindsided and start getting questions and start being attacked in regards to your family. No longer what you went to that interview. The reason I've gone. The reason you went is to promote your business, but that's past. Instead of promoting the business, now you have to spend the entire process of the interview defending your family. How would you feel about that situation? That's what we're going to talk today about, man. I think it's pretty crazy that there's people in this world that's that vicious. But yeah, man, you know how this goes, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining the live, man. You know who I am. My name is Lannie. Let's get to it. Yep. Guys, bear with me. I don't know. My connection today for some reason is lagging really bad. And before I got on the stream, I was doing the best I can to figure it out, because before I get on the stream, I always test all the equipments out to make sure the equipment is running perfectly fine. But I couldn't figure out why it's lagging. I really couldn't figure it out. I checked all the connections to make sure everything was perfectly fine, but for whatever reason, man, it's just keep lagging and lagging and lagging. And I will ask you guys just to bear with me throughout this process, because I'm doing the best I can. But yeah, we're talking today about Mr. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. He's the Secretary of Health in the United States. He's working for great President Mr. Donald J. Trump administration. And no matter what you do in this world, you're always going to have critics. You're always going to have people who don't like what you're doing, regardless if you're doing a good job or not. There's always going to be critics that's going to go against you. So Mr. Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s wife, which that woman is an established woman. She has her own life. She has her own career. She actually has a very good try. She have a very, very good career in the movie and TV world. Like, she's an actress, so she has her own life. She has her own everything that she's doing. And her husband is a politician. Mr. Robert F. Kennedy Jr., politician, is working for Mr. Donald J. Trump, our great president. He's working for his administration. So yes, his wife went to a show, to a popular show in the United States, and she went to promote her book. She actually had she just written a book, and she's on a press tour, meaning that she's going to different places to get interview in regards to her book that she just published. To get her book recognized all around the world, and hopefully, her book does good sale, good numbers. Hopefully, so But this woman went on this particular TV show, and instead of them discussing this woman's project, her book, or talking to her about her career, her actress career in movies, TV, and stuff like that, they completely blindsided this woman and started talking about her husband. Once again, her husband is Robert F. Kennedy Jr. He's a politician. His entire family been in politics their whole life. So I'm pretty sure he grew up in politics. And he's the Secretary of Health in the United States. This woman ended up spending the majority of the time that she had on this TV show, on this interview, basically defending her husband. And I think she did a great job. I think this woman is a good wife, a good woman in general, because she didn't back down. And she was basically speaking. It wasn't just one person interviewing her. It was 5 against 1. It was 5 other women. It's like a round table discussion. It's 5 different co-hosts, and this woman is there as a 6th person. So she's been pressed back against the wall on her husband's career in politics, her husband's career as the head of Secretary of Health in the United States, and the interview just went completely left. It was no longer about the book. It was just strictly about the husband and what job he's doing, and it gets pretty tense. It gets really tense, but that's what we're going to talk about today. Let's get right into it, man.
We had to go to break, but
yes, but I just wanted to follow up, because Bobby's background, everything I have seen him do, he has dedicated his career to suing big corporations because of toxins that have been affecting people's health, I should say. So, for instance, Monsanto, he was part of the team that sued Monsanto because of Roundup.
And when she said Bobby, that's her husband's name. If you guys wondering who she's referring to when she said Bobby, that's her husband's name. Obviously, she's talking about her husband's record. And mind you, she's not there to discuss nothing about her husband. She only went to that interview because to promote her book. So now she's been pressured to talk about her husband's career and what the husband is doing in the health, what the husband is doing in this, being the Secretary of Health. And the Secretary of Health basically is in charge of all the type of medical stuff within the United States. The Secretary of Health is basically go around the entire United States and all the states and basically make decisions on what type of medications should be given to kids, the elderly. Just basically the Secretary of State job is to regulate what type of vaccine and what type of medications are being used in the United States. That's bottom line, exactly how I described to you. That's what a Secretary of Health job requires. A Secretary of Health job requires to basically oversee all the medical vaccine and whatever else that the government put forth towards, like brand new little babies that's being born, or to the elderly, just whatever medication that's been given out towards the healthier side of people being born and elderly people. So that's the job of the Secretary of Health, and that's a husband who has that job. You know, and the women that she's speaking to obviously don't like her husband at all. They don't like her husband's policy. They doesn't like what he's involved in. So this is going to get pretty crazy pretty fast.
These companies for health reasons because they were causing health problems.
But the problem, respectfully, is that your husband is the least qualified department
of Health and Human Services head that we've had in history.
I do not.
think that's a very dangerous.
Why is he less qualified than an economist?
I think
How is
that
that
he
possible?
is less
He
qualified.
is
Can you imagine that someone is sitting right across from you, being that blunt and disrespectful to you in your face, calling your husband the worst qualified Secretary of Health in the United States history? Just think about that for a second. Let that sit. Let that sit. Think about that. How would you feel that you went there to promote your book and you're just being attacked by everybody about your family? That's a husband. That's a family. You're being attacked and being disrespectful in regards to your husband and your husband's ability to do his job. Her husband is not there to defend himself. This woman, she did not go to that interview thinking she has to now, instead of talking about her book, now she has to talk and defend her husband. Completely to me, that's completely unprofessional to me. But people may say, oh yes, she's married to a politician, so she should have realized that this was type of things that was going to come up. But how should she realize that's going to come up? She's there as she's an actress. She's a businesswoman. She has her own life. How would she expect to completely be blindsided to now having to defend her family when she's there to promote her book, to promote her career, to promote her business? So to me, that's completely unprofessional. Like you're at some place promoting yourself, and now you have to, instead of basically the entire conversation turn into a political conversation. That's what I'm trying to get to. This was no longer about let me talk about my book and promote my book, and let me use your platform to hopefully draw in some people's attentions towards my book. No, the whole book interview went out the door. So now the entire interview is going to be based on politics. It's going to be based about politics, about this woman's husband role in politics, which to me is completely unprofessional, because you're just sitting there being straight disrespectful to this woman's face, calling her husband the worst Secretary of Health in the United States. That's somebody she go home to every day. That's somebody she lay down with every day. And you're being super disrespectful to this woman. Like, to me, that's completely unprofessional. But this type of stuff happens all the time. They're like, people like that to me is like, come on, you're garbage. You're nothing but garbage. You're trying to prove a point by basically belittling this woman. That's all they're doing. They're trying to embarrass this woman because of what her husband policies are. Like, I don't think that's fair. Whatever her husband do, she shouldn't be held accountable for it.
Fighting for one guy who was using Roundup for his job.
It has also spread a lot of misinformation, a lot of chaos, a lot of confusion, and I think it's just a very dangerous thing. I say it with the utmost respect.
Some of it's good and some of it's not. That's
Well,
the point.
listen, we all have different views.
Yes.
And when you say, misinformation, disinformation, we could go back to COVID and people.
How are you saying this with the utmost respect? How are you talking to me and disrespecting my wife in my face and tell me you're disrespecting my family in my face, and you have the utmost respect by being disrespectful? That's not being respectful. How are you being respectful to my family? I didn't come here to talk about my family. I didn't come here to defend my family. I came here to promote my business, my book that I just published. I didn't come here to discuss politics. So you saying there telling me that my husband's job title and what my husband is doing in his own day-to-day routine, now I have to be held accountable for what, that's what I don't understand. If you have all this type of animosity and all the type of stuff, like all the type of animosity and those type of words towards her husband, invite her husband to the show and then you bring up those things to her husband. That's all I'm trying to say. Like, You have all this type of negative things to say in regards to her husband. Her husband is not there. Invite him to the show. Talk to him and tell him about his policies. Tell him about the things that you think he's doing wrong so he could defend himself. And then the bad thing about it, that she's there with a live audience. So this is one of those TV shows that with live audience, and you can hear in the background every time the TV hosts, the ladies are talking to her, the people that's doing the interview, every time they say something, negative or not, of course the audience is going to back them up. The audience is going to clap and haha. Like, it's completely, to me, that's just completely unprofessional, because this lady, and listen, I looked at this and I'm like, this lady, she never backed down. She kept her ground. Like, she stood firm, defending her family and defending herself. Like, she stood firm against 5 other women, that was constantly going back and forth talking about her husband and the job her husband is doing. He's not there. Invite him to your show and bring up whatever you think bad or negative that he's doing. I just don't see the point of you pushing this lady back against the wall, and she has to protect herself and protect her family. Like, I'm pretty sure they expected her to just back down. Like, oh yeah, your husband is the worst, Secretary of Health in United States history, and then she was just going to back down. But no, she didn't back down, dude. I respect that. And her husband, Mr. Robert F. Kennedy Jr., he should be very proud of his wife, because she stood tall. She stood up for herself. She stood up for her family. He should be very proud to be married to a woman like that she didn't back down. And I'm saying this with the utmost respect. How? You're being disrespectful to my family in my face, and you're talking about the utmost respect. You tell him in my face that my family is the worst in the United States history. The worst. And you think I should just be like, oh, ha, 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 ha. Like, all of a sudden, I should be laughing with you? No, you're being disrespectful to my family. It's never good. Like, I don't get it, man, but that's how women, I guess that's a girl talk thing. That's how women talk, I guess. I don't know, dude, but to me, that's just crazy. To me, it's just absolutely bananas, dude.
It's a very dangerous thing. I say it with the utmost respect.
Some of it's good and some of it's not. That's
Well,
the point.
listen, we all have different views.
Yes.
And when you say, misinformation, disinformation, we could go back to COVID when...
He's connecting
when-
circumcision to
May
autism.
May I finish?
Please.
When Fauci people were saying, when you get the vaccine, you cannot transmit COVID. It will stop COVID. And that was disinformation,
We were also
misinformation.
still learning about it. It was a novel
Right.
virus
And
we've never
everybody's-
encountered before.
right.
Because now the doctors will acknowledge that.
And
you
Dr.
can't.
Fauci
But
has a
at the
medical
time, they were
degree.
censoring Bobby because Bobby said... "We're
She
trying to
said-
show us this."
She said the other Secretary of State had a medical degree. So she's now saying that Mr. Robert Kennedy Jr., it's Robert F. Kennedy Jr., don't have a medical degree. Like, they're doing the best they can to just bring this man's down, to bring his character down. They're just doing whatever they can. Those women, I'm talking about those women that's doing the interview. They're doing whatever they can to basically rip this man's character apart, saying that he's not qualified because he doesn't have a degree. And the other person that was serving as the United States Secretary of Health before Mr. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. took the position with the administration of Mr. Donald J. Trump, the other gentleman that was there that was appointed, that job was under Mr. Joe Biden. And his name was Fauci, something like that. But that's what they were trying to say. Like, he is qualified to do the job and her husband is not. Mind you, once again, this woman is there to talk about a book. Not to talk about no politics, not to talk about nothing with her husband's life or what her husband is doing. She's there to promote a book that she just published. And she's just trying to get people to recognize the book. That's why she's doing it. At that point, she's doing a press tour in regards to her book. And now this woman got completely side blind, like she got completely hit from the side, like without expecting this. Now she have to spend the whole time, instead of talking about what she really want to talk about is the book, so people could listen to this. No, they're talking about her husband's career, and her husband is not qualified. This 5 women is out of their mind. Out of their mind, dude. Yeah, you might say yes, she should know that her husband is a politician, and she should have known that before she went to the interview that they was gonna bring that up. Why would they bring that up? I'm going to talk about a book. I'm not expecting you to bring up my husband or my kids, or no. I'm here to talk about me, my book, my acting career. If you want to ask me about my acting career, yes, but don't ask me about my family. And on top of asking me about my family, you're being straight up disrespectful right in front of my face in regards to my family. I think to me that's just bad. I think to me that's just bad because you're taking advantage of someone's. To me, they're taking complete advantage of this woman, because this woman is there by herself against 5 other people, like just basically going at her husband, and she has to sit there and defend everything that they were saying in regards to her husband. I think that's completely outrageous, dude. If you don't think so, you're just a bad person. I think what they're doing to this woman is outrageous. It's out of control on every level. I don't think she has to defend her family. She went in to promote her book. Let her talk about her book.
You're wrong. So it's like, let's take a step back. I know that's your opinion, and that's okay.
Can we share one thing that I think we can all agree on, and you're a big fan of, with
thank you. What can we all
the
agree
MAGA
on?
movement, Make America Healthy Again. You praise your husband's campaign to make food and baby formula safer, which I think is something everyone can get on board with. Tell us about that.
Well, thank you. I am very proud of Bobby, and he has worked really hard to get a lot of,
Thank God.
Petroleum-based food dyes out of our.
Thank God, one of the hosts finally say something that is meaningful to that woman. Finally said something that actually she got some applause, because she's actually trying to get babies food to be more healthy. So finally, one out of the 5 women said something kind and thoughtful to that woman. But once again, she is there to talk about a book, not politics. She is in that interview to talk about a book, nothing about politics, nothing about the baby formula, none of that stuff. She just wants to talk about the book, what's in the book, and that's it. But this women just completely lost track of the book. I don't even think at that point they care about this book anymore. The entire conversation just goes straight through questions about her husband and her husband's position in the administration. That's all they're talking about. No longer conversation about the book. Is about her husband's role in Mr. President Trump's administration as the Secretary of Health. That's it. Incredible to me, dude. I would have just got up and leave. Like I would have just left. But this woman, once again, man, she held her ground, dude. Like she stood there and she answered all the questions. She didn't get mad. She just stood there.
Even baby formula, now we're finding out there's arsenic, there's lead. So the question is, who was running HHS when they allowed lead and arsenic in a baby formula? How is that person not?
Well, 2 wrongs don't make a right.
No, well, I'm saying Bobby is the one getting this out.
I know, good for him. On that, yeah.
Thank you.
Can we screw up one thing before you go?
Yes.
So we don't have to make any jokes about it. Does he or does he not have a brain worm?
It ain't just a little bit of his brain and died, so don't worry.
Oh, it's a dead brain worm. What died? Wait, what? A brain died? What?
This lady, and she's doing the best she can to just laugh at the situation, but she's uncomfortable. She's uncomfortable, but she's an actress, so she has to play the role. She can't. I'm pretty sure she's angry inside of the questions that's been asked in regards to her husband's career and her husband's life. Now you're asking me about my husband. Is something wrong with his brain? I would have just tell him, listen, invite my husband to this show and ask him whatever questions you want to ask him. My husband is not here. Let's please stop talking about my family. I'm here. Let's talk about me. Let's talk about what I'm here to promote. Let's talk about the reason that I'm here. But she's there, and the way she's smiling and everything. She's an actress and she has to hold it together. But come on, that's completely unprofessional to me, dude. You go to promote your stuff that they know what you're coming to promote, but yet they're gonna sidetrack and start talking about something completely different from what you're there for, and then they're being disrespectful while they're talking about it. I think that's completely disrespectful by talking and saying disrespectful things about someone's family when the family that they're talking about is not even present. I think that's completely disrespectful. If my family is present, then you could go back and forth and say whatever you need to say, and my family is here to defend themselves. But you're saying all of this stuff, calling my family the worst Secretary of Health in the United States history, and now you're talking about there is a worm in his brain. Are you serious? Ask him those things. Invite him to your TV show and ask him those things, that whatever is on your mind. He's a grown man. He's the Secretary of Health. Bring it up to him in person. Don't ask his family.
To the campaign.
Oh my gosh.
No, book. You've got to read my book. It's just, you will. That was just one tiny headline in a mountain of crazy.
Yeah, exactly. So, come back.
Really?
Yeah. Yes. Wait.
She said, really? She's never going back to that lady. She's never going back to those women. They said, come back. She said, really? She's not going back to those women. I would never go back on that show, dude. You see, at the end of everything, that's what she wanted to talk about. She kept saying, no, just read my book. Just go through the book. Whatever you want to know, just go through the book. That's what she's there to promote, her book. Not some nonsense about, my husband's brain worm, or my husband being the worst Secretary of Health in United States history, or my husband policies on vaccine, or my husband. No, I'm here to talk about me and my book, me and my project. I'm not here to talk about my husband, my kids. No, I'm here to talk about me. Ask me things about me. I would say that in an interview. I would stand up immediately. Listen, I'm here to talk about me, not my family. If you guys want to speak to my family in regards to anything that's on your mind, I think it's best if you invite them to your platform and you guys could have a discussion as grown people. But me having to defend and answer questions in regards to my family, I don't think that's, professional in no way, shape, or form. I don't think that's something that I should be having to sit here and defend my family because you have whatever negative thoughts in regards to my family. I think that's completely unprofessional, dude. But this woman should never back down. She seriously held her ground, and she kept going through the punches with this woman. She just never gave up, and she kept a smile on her face. You can't listen. You can't be more professional than that, dude.
Don't worry.
For real.
That's actress Cheryl Hines, who's married to Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. She went on ABC's The View to promote her new book, and the conversation turned political.
Your husband is the least qualified Department of Health and Human Services head that we've had in history.
I do not.
I think that's a very dangerous.
Why is he less qualified than an economist?
I think
How is
that
that
he
possible?
is less
He
qualified.
spent his career.
Yes, I had to just show you guys once again, dude. I think that was one of the most disrespectful part of that entire interview. That woman calling her husband one of the worst one of the worst Secretary of Health the United States ever had, and then she have the audacity. Then she had the audacity to say that I don't mean it in a disrespectful way. What do you mean? You don't mean it in a disrespectful way. You just sat here and looked me in my face, looked me in my eyes, and said to me that my family is one of the worst in the United States history. And America just turned 250 years old, I think, 200 something years old. So you're saying over the 250 something years that really made the United States the country that it is now, that my husband is the worst of the worst that ever did this job as Secretary of Health. And then you have the audacity to tell me is not disrespectful. I'm not trying to say it in a disrespectful manner. This lady, at the end of the day, once again, man, she held her ground. She never gave up. She never quit. She didn't back down. She just, she kept there and she kept her composure. She kept the composure the whole way through, dude. And you can't ask for more from somebody, bro. To me, that's outrageous, but she stood her ground. That's all you could ask, dude. As a husband, you have to be completely proud of your wife. Like, after going through that type of interview and having to defend you, having to defend who you are, like, to me, it's outrageous, dude.
Casting doubt on the efficacy of the vaccine, which makes Americans very nervous. So that's the problem that we're having.
Okay, I understand. Yeah, I understand that, and it's interesting because I don't know if you saw, 60 Minutes just did a piece about the vaccine injury compensation program.
Yeah.
So people that have had vaccine injuries can be compensated if they can prove it. And they have paid out $5.4 billion for vaccine injury.
That's wild. I didn't know that. That's wild. And that's close to $6 billion was paid out to people that claim, I guess they can't just claim that. I guess that has to be proven to get money from the government. I'm pretty sure those are people that sued the government that received the vaccine. And they're talking about the COVID vaccine. So that's wild. I never heard that. Over close to $6 billion was given to people. That's a lot of money, dude. That's a lot of money that was pushed on people. But I'll be honest with you, I had the vaccine. I also took the booster shot, and I thank God I was perfectly fine. I never caught the COVID. I never had no issues. Actually, the entire process of the COVID-19 from 2019 all the way through, actually, I thank God, dude, I worked every single day, dude. I actually worked every day. Like, I didn't stop working at all. Like, I didn't stop working, dude. One of my jobs, though, at the point in 2019 when everything shut down, I was doing private security. I was working private security from security company, and that job actually shut down from 2019 all the way through, bro. That job was shut down. I think reopened in 2021. Yeah, but I think 2021, dude, that was shut down. But yeah, dude, that's at that point I was working 2 jobs. So that job got shut down, and I was continue working my second job, though. I worked all through the entire COVID-19 process, the entire situation, man. I thank God, and I was able to work and earn a living, pay my bills. I wasn't backed up. There was a lot of people throughout that time that was backed up on the bills, man, because they couldn't work. And not they didn't want to work. There was no jobs. There was no work. All of the businesses was closed down. So I thank God every single day. I thank God every day for everything, man. But at that point, going through those days in 2019, I seen a lot of people was really suffering, man, because no working, no money, nothing coming in. That's why I'm pretty big on health. A lot of people don't take the health into consideration every single day. A lot of people wake up and they just chase money. They chase materialistic stuff, not knowing that regardless if the money that you're pursuing, you accomplish it. Regardless if the money that you're chasing, regardless if the materialistic stuff that you're in pursuit of, you actually accomplish those things. But yet, you in the process of chasing and pursuing those things, materialistic stuff and a lot of money, you're neglecting your health. And I say all the time, without proper health, there is nothing. You could be in the pursuit of putting more money into your bank. You could be in the pursuit of driving one of those European cars. You could be in the pursuit of driving a beautiful Tesla. You could be in the pursuit of driving a beautiful Cadillac. One of those beautiful American great cars. So, and you could accomplish driving a Cadillac. You could accomplish driving a beautiful Tesla. But yet, when you accomplish those things, all of the months, all of the days, weeks, months, and years leading up to you finally accomplishing that Tesla Y, finally you accomplish that Tesla Y, and now you have it to drive around. But guess what? You neglect your health throughout that entire process of you in pursuit of those things. So I'm a very firm and big believer that your health should be the number one priority every single day. I think everybody should put their health before anything else. Because you could look at perfect example, Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs, the founder of Apple. This man died in his 50s. Yeah, 50s. I'm not 100%, so don't quote me on 50s, but I think it's between his 50s and 60s. He passed away. That man passed away as a multi-billionaire. He had money that could get any doctor's attention, could get whatever, but the money couldn't save him. The money couldn't save him at the point of he was dying. And on his deathbed, he said a couple of things that to this day, I really, really take those words into consideration, that he said, and I'm going to say allegedly because I wasn't there and that came out, and I'm going to use allegedly for what I'm about to say. Allegedly, he said when he was, on his way to the next life, that he realized that the things that people take for granted is completely unnecessary. Like he said, buying a watch, and allegedly he said, buying a watch for $100 and purchasing a watch for $20,000. At the end of the day, both watch say and give you the same time. I take those words into consideration every single day God give me another day to live. Because a lot of people don't understand and think about those things. You could buy a $5 watch, and you could buy a watch that costs $50,000. The $50,000 watch on your wrist and the $5 watch goes on your wrist, the same wrist, or you could use any wrist, either hand, it goes on your wrist. The $5 watch will tell you the time, exactly the time that you need to know. What time is it? The $50,000 watch will tell you the same time. But a lot of people go and spend the $50,000 on that watch because they're looking for other people's approval. They're looking for other people to make them feel important. So when I heard allegedly Mr. Steve Jobs said that, I'm like, that is so correct. And also allegedly he said a car that costs $5,000 and a car that costs $100,000 take you the same direction. It gets you to your destination. The $500 car and the $100,000 car. It gets you to your destination, the $500 car. But once again, people go out and spend the $100,000 on that car because they need approval from other people. They need other people to surround them, to make them feel important, to make them feel larger than what actually they are. So that's why they'll go out and spend $100,000. I'm not saying, listen, if you have that type of money to spend on anything materialistic that you like, that you think is going, you like it, hey, get it, do it. But his words to me, I take it very literal every single day. And I think if people will think about those things on a daily basis, they will have more peace within their life. They will live more of a peaceful lifestyle. Because you don't need $100,000 car to get you to drive from New York State to California. It's going to take you a couple of days, but you don't need $100,000 car. You understand what I'm saying? You don't need a $50,000 watch to tell you the time. Your phone tell you the time. A $5 watch tell you the time. But, I just think his words, those are powerful words. And I'm going to use allegedly. I don't know if he did say those things, but I heard it and it came from people who said that those words actually came from Mr. Steve Jobs' mouth before he passed. Yeah, but I brought him up because the money that he made throughout all those years couldn't save him. It couldn't save him at all. And people neglect their health every day. People don't wake up thinking about, oh my God, like, let me make sure I do something with this 24 hours God give me to better my health. No, I'll say, dude, 85% of people don't get up with that type of thought process to do something to better their health for a better future, for a better tomorrow. Majority of people get up and they want to go chase the money. They want to go chase the materialistic stuff that they're seeing in their dreams, seeing other people with on social media. No, they don't. They could care less about the food that they consume. I think food is one of the biggest problems that we are facing as a society. I think that's me. That's what I think. I think a lot of the disease that's in this world, a lot of the problems we are facing with our health, I think a lot of the health problems that we go through comes from food. I seriously think so. I think because the food manufacturers don't care. Nowadays, it's all about profit. It's all about how can I make more than what I spend. If I spend $5, I want to make $100 for me spending $5. So it's all about stretching the profit. And companies are willing to do whatever it takes to stretch the profit. So it doesn't take a lot to live a healthy lifestyle. People be saying there's a lot of people that, to live a healthy lifestyle, the food is expensive. How? Salads, dude, you could go to the market, to the farmer's market, and you could buy tomatoes, lettuce, carrots, stuff like that for cheap. And you could have those things and cook and eat those things for days. But the things that people desire, the things that people really like, all those red meats and all of those things, those are things that's giving you the diseases that's in your body. Simple and plain. But my whole point of bringing this up is that I think it's very, very important, ladies and gentlemen, that you put your health as priority number one every single day. Once you wake up, first and foremost, thank God for giving you another day. Show gratitude to God as much as you can every single day. And after you show gratitude to God, think about your health. Think about the things that you eat in the morning. Think about the things that you eat in the afternoon. Think about the things that you eat in the evening. Just think about the food that you're consuming, because, and a lot of people, especially younger people, I'm still young, da-da-da. Yeah, but regardless of your age, it's never too early to start eating healthy, to start actually including some form of working out in your day-to-day grind. You know what I mean? If you don't like lifting weights, get on a treadmill, get on a bike, go for a walk 3-4 days a week. Like, include some type of health regimen within your 24 hours every day. Within your 24 hours, I think that do something that will better your health going forward if God give you a tomorrow. I think we should all do it. I don't think it's a good idea to just fall back and just get comfortable eating and drinking whatever we please because we feel like we are young, we're invisible, we're invincible right now. We're young, we don't have to worry about nothing. Why wait till you get up to the age, that you feel like, why wait till you get into your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s? Why wait? Do it now and get discipline by doing it, because doing it and living a healthy lifestyle is not easy for a lot of people. Why you think gyms make so much money? You think about it. Planet Fitness is one of the most affordable gyms, one of the most affordable gyms that you could enter. A Planet Fitness, one of the most affordable gyms within the United States. And Planet Fitness are everywhere, all over the United States. And the reason they're all over the United States because they're very affordable. But how you think they make so much money to keep expanding in different states and different parts of the United States? How do you honestly think they make all that money to keep expanding? Of memberships. And the reason I said that is because do you know how many people sign up for the gym, sign contracts for the gym for a year, 2 years, and at the beginning of the year, majority of people, New Year's resolution, oh, I'm going to lose weight, or I'm going to live a healthier lifestyle, and after Christmas, after Christmas, January comes, first month of the year, first couple of days in the year, they're really into it. They get into it. Or they're going to make the time to go to the gym 3-4 days a week. They're going to make the time to eat the salad instead of the McDonald's. They're going to make the time to drink the water instead of the soda. They're going to do it. But guess how long it lasts? A month, 2 months the most. And then guess what? You constantly still have to pay that membership. Because you don't pay that membership, it messes up your credit. So it's, so a lot of gym makes money off the membership, because a lot of people who join the gym within a couple of months, they don't go. They're going to always keep in mind they have the membership, they could go whenever they want, but they don't go. That's just how a lot of gyms make money. And it's a fact. It's a fact, dude. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it's never too early to get into that lifestyle. It's never too early, because little by little, you have to get yourself used to living that lifestyle. And I used to be close to 400 pounds, believe it or not. I used to be a very chubby person. I used to be very obese. Lots of health problems. And now you see me here now talking about this type of things. And the reason I brought myself into this conversation is that it took me a while to get accustomed to the lifestyle I'm living now. It wasn't overnight. It wasn't me all of a sudden loving working out and loving to eat right and, loving to fast. No. Like, it wasn't overnight. This thing takes a while. You have to stick with it, but now is that, to me, is regular. Like, to me, I fast every day. And a lot of people don't know the benefits of fasting. If you don't know the benefit of fasting, man, check it out. Read about fasting. Try it. And your body gets used to it. Because when you come from a person like me who used to constantly eat, consume sugary food, consume fried food. I did it for years, and all I did was just make myself more and more unhealthy. Having to go to see my doctor 3-4 times a year, which is, that's when you're living an unhealthy life, when you have to go visit your doctor that much. A normal healthy person visit a doctor once a year, sometimes twice, just to get a follow-up. But if you're going 3-4 times, something is not right. But I was one of those people. And it took me a little while to really get used to the fact that, eat a salad instead of eating some fast food, eating a burger, eating some French fries. I'll eat a salad. I had to get used to drinking water instead of a bottle of juice. I had to get used to drinking some water instead of grabbing some soda. Like, it took me a little while to do it, but I never gave up. Like, I kept doing it. And now, dude, is that it's like nothing. Like, me now getting up to go work out, I don't second guess it. Like, no matter what I go throughout the day, I still get a workout in. An hour and a half, I still get it in. It doesn't matter how my day goes. It doesn't matter if I had a good day, bad day. It doesn't matter. I still take the time out because I want to be, I want to have a good future. If God give me a couple more years in my life, I want to make sure I'm comfortable. I want to make sure that I'm healthy going through going through my life. I don't want to be in and out doctor's office. I don't want to, and most important to me, I don't want to be on no medication. I don't want no, because nowadays you go to the doctor, that's the first thing they're giving you, some form of medication. 99% of doctors don't tell you there is different ways you could heal your body other than doing and drinking and taking medication. So I always say, man, prevent it before it gets out of control. Do the best you can to avoid anything that could destroy your future. Do the best you can and start today. Don't wait and tell yourself, oh, I'm young, I can have years and years and years, because guess what? People are dying at a younger age every single day. People are unfortunately getting cancerous cells in their body at a younger age every single day. So it's not too late. It's not too early. It's never too early to start living a life that could benefit you going towards the future. You know what I mean? Always start today. Don't wait. No matter what you desire in life, start right now. Don't wait tomorrow. Don't wait till next week. Give it a chance right now, and little by little, you'll get accustomed to doing it, and it'll become a part of your life. And I don't keep a gym routine. A lot of people, and that's another thing, like, I don't have a gym routine. A lot of people is like, oh, make a routine to go work out, or make a routine. No, dude. It comes a point after you start, like me, I don't have no routine. Like, I could be working all day, and I'll pass the gym, and I'll just go into the gym. If I know, like you know what? I'm able to go home. I'm right here, right now with the gym. I'm going. Like, sometimes I'll work out in my jeans. I'll work out with jeans on, which it doesn't matter. I'm just going to go to the gym. A lot of people have to go home and put on sweatpants or put on shorts, or they have the gym clothes, bro. Not me, dude. If I'm passing the gym and I know, let me just go get a workout. A lot of people is like that. Or if they don't go to the gym, like, they have it set, like, I have to be at the gym at 8 o'clock in the morning. I have to be at the gym at 9 o'clock. And then something come up and they can't make the gym at 8, 9 o'clock in the morning. They would not go for the rest of the day. That's the reason why I don't like routines, because I'm like, keeping a routine, telling yourself, keeping it in your brain that I have to be there at this certain time every single day, 4-5 days a week. This is real life. Things happen. Things happen that you least suspect to happen. So when those things happen, what happened to your routine? Now your routine breaks, and then guess what? Today you can't go because you have to do something at 8 o'clock. Tomorrow you have to do something again. Next thing you know, the whole week you have to do something at 8 o'clock. And the whole week you don't go to the gym because you didn't go at 8. When you had a whole bunch of free time in the evening, you could have go at 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 in the evening, but you couldn't make it at 8 in the morning, so you're not going to go for the rest of the day. I don't keep a routine, dude. I think it's just get up and go. Whenever you have the chance, whenever you have the opportunity, just go get it done. Simple and plain, man. But ladies and gentlemen, it's always our fun. Yeah, man. It's always fun, guys. Keep your health as priority number one. Numero uno. That should be your health at all times, guys. This was fun. I appreciate you guys. Whomever watched this video, thank you guys. For the one viewer, thank you. I'm going to continue doing this. I like doing this. Not a lot of editing. I don't have to do. I like doing this. It fits who I am. No editing. Straight live stream. Talk. Say as I please. Say what's on my mind. Love it, man. I love it. I love it. Thanks to the one viewer. I appreciate the one viewer that'll look at this video. Please share it, like, and subscribe to my new one viewer. Thank you very much to that one viewer that's going to watch this video. Thank you very, very much. And may God bless you guys out there, man. To all and every of God kids within the United States, may God bless us all. To all and every of God kids all around the world, may God bless you guys all. Ladies and gentlemen, always treat people with the love, the kindness, the care, the loyalty, and the respect. Most importantly, the respect that you expect others to treat you with. Shorter version. Treat people the way you want to be treated at all times. Always do what's right in the eyes of God and His family, and always make God a part of your decision making every single day. Show gratitude and respect to God, because without God, nothing in our lives will be possible. That's a guarantee. We all need God. We all need the love, the help, the kindness, the care from God. We all need our Holy Father every single day in our lives. Always make God a part of your decision making every day. To our Commander-in-Chief, to our sitting President, Mr. Donald J. Trump, as always, sir, salute to you and your entire family, sir. May God bless you and your entire family. May God watch over you and your family, sir. May God watch over you and your families on your trips within the United States and on your trips outside the United States. On this beautiful, wonderful evening, sir, whatever you're doing, that's to our Commander-in-Chief, Mr. Donald J. Trump, whatever you're doing on this beautiful, wonderful evening, hope you're safe. Hope that you're having a great evening. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll catch you guys in the next stream. Until then, guys, please stay safe. Let's work together to make this world a better place. Let's treat each other with respect. Let's be more accepting to each other's differences. That will make this world a better place when we could be more respectful and caring to each other differences.